The last time we covered this comic, we discovered how Vinay, the servant of Darth Vader on Mustafar, came to be, how he was manipulated and created by Darth Vader himself, and we will talk more about that later on. Today we see how Darth Vader was practically reborn on Mustafar, using only darkness. So two young Mustafarians, right after the Battle of Endor, enter Vader's castle in order to destroy it. They're planting charges everywhere they can, and all of a sudden they hear a noise. It is coming from a small shaft. The man inside is pleading with whoever is out there to help him. He is trapped. One of them opened the shaft and they saw inside a man, a cloaked man who was thankful to be rescued finally. He has been down this pit for so long that his company was only spark roaches. Lovely, crunchy spark roaches. And while the other Mustafarians was grossed out by this, the second one could not leave this man to die here, especially since they are blowing up the place. He went on to ask the man who put you down there, and he answered with the Dark Lord. He was very angry, but he did nothing wrong, nothing at all. Now the Mustafarian wanted to get him out, and the other did not agree with him, although he started manipulating the two Mustafarians that they were kind. Both of them were very kind, unlike the Dark Lord. He was very cruel. Well, one of them said, "He is now gone." "Gone?" said the man. "That's impossible. He was so powerful. I thought nothing could ever defeat him." This man especially knew about Vader's wrath. Alas, he was a servant of the Dark Lord, but we will find that out very shortly. He went on to tell stories about Darth Vader all across the galaxy, but now they had no more time. The Mustafarian lended his hand to help him up, but the person grabbed the Mustafarian's wrist and pulled him down the shaft. "Oh dear," he said, "how clumsy of me." With the other Mustafarian trapped inside, now the other just was shocked, trying to understand what is happening. His master. Who is his master? The man answered very simply. They were threatening to blow up his master's fortress, and unfortunately, he just cannot allow that. Now the man revealed himself. He is the servant of the Dark Lord, the one true acolyte of the Beyond. He is Vinay, keeper of the Obsidian Flame. He is death to all those who profane the name of the Sith. As now Vinay was slowly approaching to kill the Mustafarian, but at that moment the one trapped in the shaft had a message for him. In fact, he had the detonator to activate all the bombs they had planted across the castle, and he finally clicked it. An enormous explosion occurred everywhere around the castle, but sadly the detonator just wasn't enough. The castle still stood, and although the castle was not completely destroyed, they had damaged it to the core and they had killed Vinay. But the Mustafarians were naive enough to think that, as Vinay rose from the ashes. "Foolish child," said Vinay, "haven't you heard? The Sith are hard to kill." But now Vinay inquired, "But what if they are speaking the truth? What if my master is truly gone?" Suddenly though, a voice from the Beyond starts talking to him. "Do not fear, faithful servant. He knows his voice. He spoke to him inside the pit, inside the darkness, in the smoke." To Vinay, this was Vader's voice talking to him from the Beyond. "Yes," he said, "Vinay, I can hear you, O Lord. Speak the words of hope to me, and I will obey." The voice told him it is never late to bring back his master. His master will return to the fires of Mustafar, and this time he will be made whole. As with the castle in the background, a gloved hand comes out of the lava, partially translucent, blue in color. It is unmistakably Vader's arm, rising from the fire. It is Vader triumphant, Vader supreme, Vader reborn. Now, unfortunately, what else can we expect but a cliffhanger? This comic came out a few weeks ago, and if you were wondering about the style, it is because these are the offshoot stories of Vader's Castle, a comic series that is ongoing up until this day. This one we covered was called Shadow of Vader's Castle, but it is to be continued in Ghosts of Vader's Castle next, and it very likely is to be that Darth Vader will be reborn somehow. His image is about to come to life once again. What happens afterwards? Well, we're gonna have to wait for the next issue to come out. And until we do that, let us quickly remind you how Vinay was created, the origins of Vinay, who now haunted the Inspector, but Darth Vader needed a servant, someone to attend his needs, and that's why he was lured in here. Vader deemed him to be the best candidate to arrive for months. The Inspector now was going mad. He pleaded with Vader to release him. The fumes, he can see terrible, terrible things, but Vader instructed him to look upon them. Tell me, what do you see? No, said the Inspector, they're not real. I know they're not real. You can't scare me. I'm an Imperial officer. I laugh at such notions. But as he slowly started laughing, now he amplified that to uncontrollable laughter, and he continued to laugh for days on end without interruption, and days until he was finally a complete lunatic. Very Joker-esque. Now he was finally ready to serve Darth Vader, to serve every particular need that he had inside this castle. And when Vader asked, "What is your name?" the servant finally revealed himself to be Vinay, calling Vader Master. And Vinay, for those who are not familiar with this character, is the servant that appeared in Rogue One while Vader was resting, and Vinay informed Lord Vader that Director Krennic had arrived. We basically see the origins of this servant. If Vader's castle wasn't scary already, this shows you how mystical and how mysterious Darth Vader's castle ultimately became. The Mustafarians recognized the dangers of it just existing. It was not something that you could just destroy easily. The origins, of course, we know why Darth Vader chose Mustafar and chose to build the castle exactly as it is, because of Lord Momin and his help with uncovering the key to the other dimension. The dark side locust that was located right beneath the castle gave it its power, gave it something special to behold. Now, to amplify that dark, mysterious mysticism, we go beyond just the Force. Now we go with natural gases that gave you hallucinations and practically made you go completely lunatic, mad, and beyond recovery. It is a very interesting way to showcase how Vinay came to be in the service of Darth Vader. Darth Vader, even though he was an all-powerful Sith, he still needed somebody to be his day-to-day servant. And I know we might never see Vinay again in the movies especially, but it was interesting to see the creation of that character, although I definitely think they were inspired by the Joker fully. So all in all, I want to know what you guys think as well. Talk to me down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below. Subscribe for dailies. Now you go have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.